Chapter 16. Life, Death, and Beyond. You and your party and remains of the old god stare down at Nefara's body, the blade of light still embedded in her chest. We did it. We killed her.
She's gone. She's really gone.
Midas leaps into her brother's arms, weeping. We're free of her, sister. We're free of her. Wallace and Ashy gallop up to you, with Wallace nuzzling one of your legs while Ashy lands on your shoulder, purring. I can't believe it. This nightmare, it's finally over. We have only to decide what should be done with what's left of her. She should be left to rot. After all she's put us through, she's not getting any sympathy from me, not even now. Leave her to the birds, or whatever scavengers there are down here. This form is not a body, Valori. It is more like a soul. But even so, there are creatures here who feed on such things. I suspect if some of her moths remain, they'll be the first to seek it out. Doesn't that seem a bit cruel to anyone? She's gone, priestess. She cannot feel. What is done to her now is for the benefit of those who remain. And who knows if this place works like the world up above, maybe giving her soul back to it is a good thing. It'll nourish the city the way a body nourishes the earth. It'll be the only good she's ever done. If that is what you believe we should do, Rain, then we shall. No, so now what? For all my love's efforts, she was not a true god of this world. These problems will not solve themselves now that she is gone. The equilibrium might be found again, though. It will take time. I doubt any of us will exist to see it, but it is possible. Or it will be once I return to the rivers, to their true homes and the harrow the hells. I'll be with you every step of the way, sister. That sounds like a pretty big job for just the two of you. It is, but I'm a big guy. And we owe it to this place, to these people. We've broken their eternity, Rain. So, just as we broke the sky so long ago, we will mend it. You're taking responsibility. Good. We know what role we played, Rain. Nefara may have given us the orders, but we obeyed them. And a lot of people got hurt because of it. But you recognize that, and that's an important step in making things better. You turn to Bakshi only to find Azur standing on the other side of the room, staring at the shattered potions littering the floor. Mal puts his hand on your shoulder and, without a word, steers you towards them. Bakshi looks up at you as you approach, smiling sadly. You look like you could use some company, and I think Rain and I happen to know a thing or two about how you're feeling. I simply was thinking about all the stories that have led up to this moment and how tired I have grown of hearing them. So many stories twisted to our chosen people's ends or buried entirely. Even my own love story was used for Nefara's sinister propaganda. So, you haven't changed your plans yet? I still long for rest, but without Atar here to guide me, I feel lost, moreless. If you want us to remind you why this place is worth staying in, we can. Rain did it for me not too long ago. But after everything you've lived through, if you feel like there's time to say goodbye, I'll support you. Well, if you're truly sure, we'll help. Thank you, Rain. I should like you all to be there when it is time. But I am not afraid of what it is to come, but I am always glad of your company. Seriously, I spent so long chasing the end, but every time it came close, it was just as terrifying as the last. So, do you think you could leave some of that bravery of yours with me? You don't need it. My swift speaking fool. You have the heart of a lion already. Just promise you won't leave without saying goodbye. Bakshi gives you a nod, and the three of you make your way back to the group, where they step forward. My friends, family, this will be our last day together. It is time for me to find my rest. But sibling, I'm afraid I must make a similar choice. Or rather, my daughter must. You still want me to... Like the others, I have ruined a world, and you are the one I hurt the most. I know I have no right to ask, but if it would not hurt you further, I would like to mend what I broke between us. Valley takes Valix's hands with profound gentleness. And if that is not what you wish, I will accept that and find my own rest. What I did to you was unacceptable, and the corruption I suffered is no excuse. I understand if you can never forgive me for it. It's not fair for you to put this on Valix. Not after... I will decide, Mother. But first, I'd like to speak with Rain. Valley nods, and you and Valix step to the side. You don't have to do this, you know. I know, but I'm going to. I just wanted you to know I just wanted to know what you would do if this was your choice. Oh, no. That's... My choice? Let her go. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You owe her nothing whenever you decide it should be for you. But I think if you want to move forward, you won't be able to do it while she's still around. Thank you, Rain. That helps. I will explain why I did that at the end of the video. You give Alex's shoulder a comforting squeeze as she wipes away a tear, then turns back to Valley. Mother, for so many years you treated me like an object, an extension of yourself to be taken apart, put back together. And after all that pain, I'm not sure I can be my own person while you're still around. Valley's expression falls, but then she gives a solemn nod. No sign of raging anger you've seen in the past. I understand, my child. When back she goes, I shall go too. But I must thank you for these last few days we have gotten together. You rescued me in every way. You know what I think? I think we should have a wake. They're not even gone yet. I think that's part of the appeal. It doesn't have to be some sad, somber thing. It could be like an orcish funeral, a celebration. I would very much like that. Important follow-up question. Can gods get drunk? And more importantly, can the dead outdrink them? Sounds like a challenge. That sounds like a possible recipe for disaster. You may find disasters with the group to be quite enjoyable, Midas. I do believe, after all we've done today, that we more than deserve a moment to toast our accomplishments. Yeah, you defeated a boss in all of 2 minutes, but any other book, it takes like hours, days, weeks, months. Anyway, let's go. Soon, you and your party and all your allies gather inside a Palace of Light's grand hall. The first thing that hits you is the music, coming from a small band of elves, humans, and one very excited orc in the corner. One of their tourist projects. I never got a chance to meet them before, but now I would very much like to. Midas sits at one of the tables, feeding bits of nectar to Wallace and Ashy, who eagerly lick it from her fingers. Easy babies, I want you. Hopefully they can come with us to the real world. Well, Wallace came from and Ashy didn't. Your friends are adorable, Rain. And boy, do they know it. They do. The winged warrior stands near Midas, his eyes flitting around the room, taking it all in. I'm glad to see you're alright. I wasn't sure you would be after Nephora hit you like that. Midas fixed me, made me whole again, or at most whole. It is hard to be whole without a name. but I have thought on it, and I would like to go by Lyrie now.
Lyrie? Does it mean something? It sounds an awful lot like ancient Elvish word for light. It is slightly different, actually. For us, it's simply a color. The color of our greatest city. Well, let me guess. Gold.
It felt fitting, given my appearance.
Any chance you can tell me where Hollis used to be in the real world, Midas? For reasons?
Nithric arrived, arms full of tankards he sets on the table before plopping down himself. Rain. Before the drinking, you must share your exploits. Tell us about the dwarven wilds, the elements, and the hills.
Indeed, we saw much that you did in the world above, but little of your adventures down here.
You mean apart from the time we beat you?
It was a tie. Meaning loon. Great whale. The end of all things. I know you've seen them, but the end of all things is seriously impressive. I mean, they're a massive sun that collects, or holds a collective knowledge of all the dwarves who have ever lived. I want to fight the sun, and you'd lose.
No, brother.
I don't know. I'd pay good money to see it.
Yeah, he'd last 2 seconds.
Please don't encourage him. We're all grown so much, even in the last few days. I don't care how big either of you get, you'll always be my babies. I still don't believe my little boy is all grown up.
Kilma, please. As Serenia coos over him, you look to the window where the end of all things bobs up and down. Valley stands by its side. She truly said that. How dare she? How did you reply?
Well...
You catch Valix watching them, her brow furrowed. I assume your mother didn't gossip much in the Shadow Realm?
Definitely not. But I suppose it's good for her to reconnect with the dwarves. They have a lot to talk about, and not much time to do it.
Enough talking, I promised a drinking contest. I'm gonna kick all your asses, especially yours, Nithrix.
You in, Rain?
Yeah, I'm happy to judge. Count me in.
Hells yeah, priestess. What about you, elf boy?
Absolutely not.
Well, go on, Tyrrell. Have some fun for once.
Let's do this.
Everyone reaches for a tankard, including Tyrrell, while Tora and Nithrix lock eyes as you start to count them down. 3, 2, 1, go! Everyone throws back their pints and begins to guzzle their tankards, magically refilling as they finish them. But soon, Nithrix and Imtora begin to outpace Nia, Mal, and Tyrrell.
Go, Nia! You're losing ground! How do you all drink so fast?
Less talking, more drinking.
It'd be easy if it actually tasted good. Nithrix grabs another tankard, drinking from 2 at the same time. Even as he begins to sway, Imtora lets out a growl. She grabs a second tankard herself.
Cheater. Having trouble keeping up?
You got this, Imtora. Then suddenly everyone reels back as though struck. Nithrix wheels on Midas, no longer seemingly affected by alcohol. Sister!
Oh, come on, I was about to win! Apologies, when my brother overindulges, he tends to get aggressive with the furniture, and I don't want to repair the West Wing again. Then how about a show of magic? It doesn't need to be a formal duel, but I'd like to test my mettle. Old gods versus new? Aaron, Alex, would you like to join? To give me and Alara something other than light magic to counter?
I honestly think I'd rather die again.
I'd be honored, but just don't be too upset when I win. I should very much like to see that.
As the 4 of them cross the hall, the others follow, but you hang back when you notice Bakshi standing in the corner of the room.
Doesn't seem like you're enjoying your wake all that much. I think it's wonderful, and everyone else is having such a lovely time. I'd hate to ruin it. Bakshi, this is meant to be your party. The whole reason we're doing this is to give you a final chance to say goodbye to everyone. To your siblings, to us. So if you're not enjoying yourself, then we should do something else. I suppose a part of me just doesn't quite know how to feel joy anymore. Atar was my joy. Oh, I feel Bakshi's struggle, I really do. It is nice to see everyone so happy. I can feel the warmth of it. I bet you'd feel even more if you went and joined them. Thank you, Rain. You know, I've seen many heroes in my time. People fighting for what is right, but you and your friends, you're my favorite story. Thank you, Bakshi. You're my second favorite storyteller, but I hope you understand that. I do, because he's my favorite too. But you are right. If this is my last chance to be with everyone, I should savor every moment. With the two of you, you make your way over the rest of the group. Soon you're all gathered around a table, talking and laughing. I would like to propose a toast to the saviors of the world below. To you, Rain of Parnassus, shaper of stories, hero of all. Z gives you a soft smile before turning to the rest of your group, raising their tankard. To Tyrrell of House Starfury, unrelenting warrior for change. To Nia Ilarius, priestess of the Temple of Light and beacon of hope to the needy. To Mal Valori, champion of the Justice, magnificent road. To Imtora clan of Tal Kaleen, rageful heart of the sea. To Aaron Valoros, reforged master of shadow. To the Princess Valorax, daughter of dreams, dragon of destiny. Hear, hear. To the saviors of the world below. And all their cool titles. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts and the depths of our souls. To us. We've been to the literal hells and back. And there's no one else I could have gone through that with. I'm so lucky to have met each and every one of you. To you, Rain, the one who makes us brave. The leader who taught us how to lead.
The best adventurer I know, including me.
The wisest among us. The person who makes us better people. And who makes us realize we're people in the first place. You're all gonna make me cry. Laughter ripples through the group as they all raise their tankards, and in that moment, all you feel is joy. Later that evening, you all gather around Bakshi in a room where a waterfall pours down from the ceiling into an open pit in the floor. What is this place? It's where I route all the magic of the afterlives, where the rivers finally disappear. The true undiscovered country, a place where no one returns from. Are you sure this is what you want, Bakshi? It is, but it means the world to me that you asked. We're going to miss you so much. Nekthrax picks up both Midas's and Bakshi in a hug. He spins them around and sits them down as Sarianya and Elara step up to say goodbye. Thank you, my friend, for everything. It was an honor to fight by your side. Bakshi turns to Valley, who immediately sweeps them into a tight embrace. I'm so glad we got you back, if only for this small time. I wish we had more of it. But our story shall endure, my child. That I am certain of.
So this is really it then. Bakshi.
Thank you for everything. We could never have done any of this without you.
You're very welcome. And while I can't say I'll be with you always, I hope my words will be. I will make sure the elves know the truth about you. And all the other gods. The good and the bad. As it should be.
I'm gonna miss watching you order people around in the middle of a fight.
You were weird, but are kinda weird. Thank you for helping me realize we each get to write our own stories. And for... Bakshi pulls Nia close as tears fall from her eyes. I know. You don't have to say.
I only just met you, and I had hoped not to lose part of my new family so soon. You can still change your mind, you know.
Bakshi pulls both you and Valix into a hug as well. Then Mal, Tyrell, Aaron, and Tora until you're all in one shared embrace. My storytellers. My heroes. While I hoped the titles I bestowed upon you would convey this, each of you means more to me than words could ever hope to express. Bakshi pulls away from you and steps to the edge of the precipice and then looks back. I wish you more stories, Rain. It is the greatest blessings I can give. I hope you find the ending you're looking for. Bakshi turns back, staring into the rushing water. Itar, I'm coming. Then they step forward and fall, disappearing into the abyss of possibility.
My turn.
Valley crosses over the Nithrax, minus both of whom have tears in their eyes, hug them each in turn.
Take care of each other. You're all that's left of us now.
We will, just as we always have.
So sorry for what we did to you, Valley. I know, but you remember my name now. Everyone will remember it, and that is more than I dreamed.
Valley steps to the waterfall and looks back at each of you.
Thank you, all of you, for my death and life, for giving my daughter what I never could.
We will take care of her.
Thank you. That is all I would ask.
Finally, she turns to Valix, pride and sorrow etched across her face.
And you, my beautiful, brilliant daughter, I hope you get to live that life you want, a life full of joy and wonder.
And with that, she reaches out, touches the water, her fingers seeming to become transparent before you realize they've become water.
Goddess of growth and change, what is water, if not that?
Valix reaches out and clutches your hand, tears in her eyes.
Goodbye, Mother.
Valley smiles softly as she reaches deeper until she is a being of pure water that falls into the chasm and flows away. A long silence falls over all of you, one that's finally broken by Midas. Bakshi and Valley were not the only ones with a decision to make. We will leave you to discuss it. She takes her brother's hand and guides him out. Serenia and Elara follow after.
So what do we do?
Nefara's out of the way. We can go back. It will be like none of this ever happened. But it did happen. The world below is in shambles. Midas and Nithrax aren't going to be able to fix it all by themselves. They won't be alone. My mother and Elara will be helping. I'm sure there are others. And it's not like the world above is in much better shape now. I'm not sure what will happen without us. We'll have to deal with that eventually, if not now, in a few decades.
There's no easy answer. you would give me a choice like this.
I'm going back. Remember, time flows differently in the world where we come from, where we're alive. Like, how many months, if not years, has passed for Cade while we've been here? And yet it's only been a matter of, like, what, a week? So, literally, we'd be back in no time at all because we die of old age. Also, look at the background right now. It looks so bad compared to the statues. It's so awkward and graphically just... Ugh, God, whatever. I'm going back. Anyway, the world above needs to stand on its own 2 feet, but we need to show them how. We owe it to them to try, at least. Despite your words, you watch as your friend's eyes flick between each other, clearly starting to panic. Look, it's been a long day. How about we take a night to think about it? We can all make our cases in the morning.
We could all use a break. You especially, Landrat. Why don't you let me cook something for you and we can talk about things?
She ducks down to whisper in your ear as one of her talks grazing the shell of it.
Or not talk at all.
I saw a garden out one of the windows. I think the fresh air is just what I need. He holds your gaze, eyes warm with affection. I would love it if you joined me. I find it far easier to think when you are by my side. And here I thought I was distracting.
Only in the best ways.
I'm gonna try and get some rest, though I don't suspect I'll be falling asleep anytime soon. I reach over and take her hands, giving a comforting squeeze, and she smiles. If you have time, Rain, I'd love to see you, to simply be us for a moment. I prefer to get all out of this palace. It reminds me far too much of home. But I'll go back to the city. There was a market we passed that looked rather interesting.
I bet the view from the top of the palace is magnificent. Maybe up there, a path we should take will become clear. Perhaps you could help me, Rain, or we could just sit together, the two of us.
Your friends head off in different directions. Mal lingers by your side. You can probably already guess what I think we should do, but if you want to talk, or you can find me outside the city by the river. And I want you to know that I would never leave you, Kit.
I know. I just said we should all think about it, what to do. I think you actually need to do the opposite. You should try to relax.
It'd be a lot easier if you helped me.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. Dear viewer, I know in the past that I've posed typically all of these. And I have always picked all of these for you. But judge me not, and don't judge me harshly, as I will explain at the end of the video. I've got a lot of thinking of my own to do. I will explain at the end of the video. When you enter the throne room the next day, it's already perfectly repaired. Your body is laid out at the top of the stairs.
Morning. Big day today.
Midas, stop fussing. You're starting to sound like Volley. Serenia marches in with a bound Ariana.
Before you all have your discussion, Aaron, what would you have us do with her? Aaron.
She looks at him pleadingly, but he hardly spares her a glance as he turns to you. What do you think, Rain? We can imprison her here and use this as an opportunity to carefully get information out of her. Or we could end her. Throw her down that waterfall back she showed us. I think you should choose for yourself. But I'm not sure. I can't make this decision for you, Aaron. She's your mother. You're right. Then let's not be hasty and do anything we can't take back. Aaron turns to face her and Serenia. My mother is to be confined in the palace or other such holding cells indefinitely.
Don't do this!
She looks heartbroken, desperate, her eyes staying locked on Aaron as she's dragged out of the door by Serenia's men.
Do you think you'll visit her?
Yes, but not immediately. I know how bad being alone with your thoughts can be, but I don't want to give her the chance to manipulate me.
I will watch over her in the meantime, Aaron.
Thank you. She nods and exits after her maiden.
Well, we still have a decision to make. A pretty monumental one. Should we stay in the afterlife or return to the land of the living?
You look around your group, the weight of all of it bearing down on you. Nia clears her throat.
While I know it may sound like I'm dodging the question, I could really be alright either way. There is plenty I could do in the world above, but should we stay here, I trust my priestesses and my congregation, and Midas has been so kind. I know yesterday I was very intent on returning to life, but having given it more thought, I agree with Nia. I'm surprised. Tyrell, you were so worried about the elves, are you sure?
I've spent so much of my life trying to convince people to do the right thing. Sometimes it works. Often it doesn't. If I go back, I will continue the fight, but I cannot single-handedly save the elves from themselves. I understand that now.
Besides, someday others will have to carry on after us and live with the consequences.
I'm easy, Landrat. I'd like to stay with you all for now, no matter where that might be.
So that's 3 of us who are fine with either option. Sorry, like the 4 of us. I can't be that agreeable, kid. I'm sorry, but I want to be here with my mom.
You don't have to apologize, Mal.
I know it's selfish, but I never got time with her. That was part of why I built the orphanage, to give kids the support I didn't have. But I have to trust that the system I build will work without me, because if I do leave, there's a chance my mom won't be here when I get back. For once, I hate to be contentious, but I spent most of my life making decisions based on other people, obeying them, spiting them. I want to go back to the living world and see what living for myself is like.
I want to go back for the same reason. I've seen so little of the world above. But if I do that, I don't know that I can return here. I'm not sure I'll ever die, not naturally anyway.
Ashy flutters up from the ground and paws at your shoulder. What about Ashy? Could she even come with us?
Well, I don't have a body for her, but she's small enough I should be able to sneak her through that with a little extra magic.
We could spend hours arguing over this, but I think there's one person who's earned the right to decide for all of us. Oh, I hate you so much right now. Everyone turns to look at you. You've done so much, Volric's Reign. So choose what you want, and we will follow. You want me to decide for everyone? You step back, mind racing. In the blink of an eye, you find yourself standing right where you need to be.
Rain, you're back. Did you beat her? Is it over? We won, Kane, but now there's a choice we have to make. Whether to stay here or not. Why is that a choice? Just come back. It's not that simple. The afterlife needs help too. Nefara made a mess of the place. People down here need help, and I don't think Mithrix and Midex can do it alone. But what about me? And what about Chart and Threp and the rest of your friends? I can still visit. But you can't touch me. I'll never get to see the others again. How does everyone else feel about it? Valix and Aaron want to go back. Venturani and Tyrell are good with anything. But Mal wants to stay with his mom. So, either way, someone gets hurt. And they want me to make that final decision, Cade. What do I do? You do what you've always done, Rain. You follow your heart. Your heart saved me from the Shadow Realm. It saved everyone from the Ash Empress and Nefara. It won't lead you astray now. Your brother's words still echo in your ears as you return to the throne room.
Oh!
eventually I was going back, right? Now I need to think about this for a couple minutes. We're back. I've put a lot of thought into this. To the moment that, like Full Metal Alchemist. You know, it's raining today. What a terrible day for rain, and I will explain my choice at the end of the video. We're staying here. Yes! Hither throws his fist in the air before snatching you up in a bone-crushing hug. So that's what that feels like. When he finally puts you down, you walk over to Aaron and Valix. I'm sorry. I know you two wanted to go back. It's alright, Rain. My mother was a busy woman, and I will take great pleasure in dismantling her empire. As much as I wish to explore the world above, I suspect the world below is just as expansive, not to mention my new... She would look shyly in Midas and Ithrix's direction. Family. As the three of you rejoin the rest of your friends, you'll let out a heavy sigh. One thing I'm not looking forward to, telling Kate. You'll understand, Rain. You're going to have to do a lot of translating at the wedding for the rest of us. Well, since you're all staying, what shall we start with first? Let's... take a nap. That is not what I expected. Yep. But sometimes you need to rest after such a long, grueling life. You yawn. Dying takes a light out of you, okay? I wouldn't mind some rest myself. I'm going to need it for all we hope to accomplish. So it's decided. Nap first, then we'll figure out the rest. A few months later. You watch as Cade wraps a cord around his and Cherta's hands, smiling as he stares down into her eyes. Cherta Sanavir, you are the most brilliant, beautiful melody I have ever heard, the perfect harmony of the song of my heart. Cade Liborn, you are my joy, my laughter, my love, and my life. I can't wait to see the future we build together. You may always be bathed in the light's love, and may the ancestors bless you both, till the day you join them. The doors toss coins in the air, and the rest of the crowd cheers as Cherta pulls Cade into a kiss. Woo, it's my brother and new sister-in-law. Rain. That's hardly appropriate behavior. You turn to the farmer who raised you, Tom, where he stands amongst your friends, looking on the wedding, but invisible to everyone there. Oh, Cade's the only one who can hear me. May your fruit be numerous and bright. A goblin band strikes up a song as the dwarves begin to throat sing. Cade heads back down the aisle, straight for you. Well, how'd I do? Oh, tell him it was a beautiful ceremony. And we're so happy for him and Cherta. Can't believe he actually did it. Never thought I'd see the day. I don't think you need to tell him that bit. By far the best wedding I've ever been to, and I have been to many. This is the first wedding I've seen. It seems like a wonderful tradition. We wish we could have been there to celebrate in person. You did great, Kate. Tom said it was a beautiful ceremony, and everyone else basically said congrats. Cherta comes to join Kate, Thrap and Lula perched on each of their shoulders. Hi, Rain. Assuming you're here somewhere.
Is it time for dessert yet? Please tell me it's time for dessert.
Oh, I've always wanted to try the dwarven pastries. Looks like you've got a party to go to. Tell everyone hi for me. Say, when are you getting married, Rain? Stick your tongue out at him. Oh, see you after your honeymoon. Sometime later, it's hard to tell how much in the afterlife. You catch up with Nia, who's working to tear down the walls between the Ring of Dawn and the Ring of Dusk. I don't see why I can't just smash them. Because you could blow something up.
We wouldn't want that. Ugh, speak for yourself, Rain. As Nithrik starts to slowly deconstruct the wall brick by brick, Nia turns to you.
Nefara might be dead, but her magic is still running through all this place. It's as strong as ever. It's going to take time to remove it.
Lucky for us, we've got nothing but time.
That's true. Look at me rambling on. Was there something you needed?
Well, I've been thinking a lot in the last week, and Nia... I was worried I hurt you when I ended things. Let's run off together somewhere. Can the High Priestess get married? She gasped, cupping her hands over her mouth.
Rain, are you really asking me?
I don't think I know any other High Priestesses.
Yes. Yes, a million times yes. Oh, I can't wait to be Nia Parnassus.
You know, you don't have to take my last name.
Do you have any idea how many Ilariuses there are in the world? It's gotta be the most common orphan surname. But honestly, I like the idea of having part of you with me at all times.
Sweep me into a long, deep kiss, and for a moment, light strikes the two of you, and you know how it feels to be divine. You take your leave of Nia and head to Tyrell and Mal, who are working nearby, helping the denizens of the Ring of Dusk build stabler houses. Rain, doesn't it look wonderful, all these different styles of architect next to each other? It's lovely to see you comfortable with this much change, Tyrell. You used to hate it. Kilmer, not in front of others, please. It's only us, Elf Boy. What could we possibly do with that information? With a roll of your eyes, you take Tyrell's arm and tug him away from the others. Don't let him bother you, Tyrell. I am trying, Rain. That's exactly why I fell for you. Then I will endeavor to keep it up. He sweeps you up in his arms, capturing your lips in a sensual kiss, the taste of fresh dew and spring rain, refreshing and utterly perfect. When you rejoin Serenia, Mal and Maria give Mal a warning look. Maria, will you tell your son to be nice to Tyrell? He is being nice. It's not his fault. The elf is adorable. You need to be careful, Mal, before you get into trouble. I'm always careful, kid, and when I'm not, that's what I've got you for. He flashes you a cocky grin, and you shake your head. There's actually something I've been meaning to talk to you about. You pull him aside, away from the others, so you can speak privately. Pretty much we're just doing the goddamn rounds. You know, I can't stand the thought of losing you. You know, I was only joking about not being careful. I do, but I feel like it's worth repeating. I can't stand the thought of losing you, any of your memories. That's not gonna happen, kid, because I treasure every memory of you so much I'd never pull them or put them at risk. Good. Now go back to tormenting Tyrell. A woman after my own heart. First. He pulls you into a passionate kiss, and with Mal the Magnificent in your arms, it feels like anything is possible. We believe one of her storerooms was here, my lord. Laura points to a spot on Aaron's map as you walk into what used to be the base of resistance. We, search these houses. If there are signs of traps, we take them to Mal and Midas. It'll be done. Alara gives you a nod as she slips out the door, and you stroll over to Aaron, who's still hunched over the map. Working hard, my lord? I keep telling them to stop it, but honorifics are a big deal to the elves, and as for the humans, apparently I look a lot like a great-great-grandfather, so whenever an older spirit comes by, your majestying starts again. Hey, at least they're being respectful. They could be calling you a lot worse. I suppose that's true. I just hope they come to respect me for my actions rather than my lineage. I'm sure they will. Outside the city, Midas and Imtora are working together to reroute the flow of part of a river so it no longer flows into Elhalis. Lift it gently. Good. Just like that. Watch Imtora's muscles flex as she lifts the river itself like an enormous ribbon, even as it continues to flow. She lowers it carefully into the last few feet, where she slammed it down, splashing herself in the process. Damn, I've missed the water. Not that I'm ready to join the elements, mind you, but it's refreshing.
think I can pull you away for a minute, Imtura. For you, I've got more than a minute, Landrat. You pull her deeper into the forest, out of sight of Midas. I just wanted to say I miss you. For what, the hour I've been gone? That was too long. Well, how about we make up for lost time, then? She wraps you up in her muscular arms, brings her lips to yours, and you feel like you're sailing towards an endless horizon. Next, you find Valix in the Hells, shepherding the individuals and creatures there to the entrance for processing. How's it going? Any of the people down here giving you trouble? Not at the moment. I think most of them understand if they stay here, they'll be destroyed. Any sign of the Shadow Court? Xenia and Xanthra have yet to show their faces, but we did escort Duke Othrax to a prison cell. Then perhaps it's time to be done for the day. There's always tomorrow, after all. There's actually something I want to talk to you about, but I don't really know where to start. I'm familiar with the feelings. Say what you can and I'll help. Valix, I'm so glad you're in my life. You're so important to me. I don't know what I'd do without you. I'm one who should be grateful, Rain. You saved me in every possible way, from my prejudices, my mother, and from myself. Maybe we saved each other. You pull her into a tender case full of longing, adoration, and as she wraps her arms around you, your heart feels like it's soaring. That night, you and all your friends gather at the palace roof, raising your tankards as you toast the day. To us, the glorious dead. To family, we choose. To finally taking a break. The bar is literally in the Hells, isn't it? To improvements, but not adventures. To the quiet life. No more worlds to save, no more panic or rushing, just a chance to take things slow and enjoy them. I can't wait to see what that feels like. Rain Parnassus, shaper of stories, champion of life and death, hero of all. You mastered 15 of 15 skills, BFD. You wielded 3 of 3, Lord Tablets, got it, check it, awesome, whatever. Bonus scene time in a quaint little tavern in the town of Riverbend. Congrats to all in the wedding, Cade, but you do have a tab to pay. I thought heroes of Riverbend drank free. Not ones who have outstanding tabs from when they skipped out here years ago. How about I pay with a song? No. Tough crowd. I'll cover you, Kay. Just make sure everyone here is entertained. I can do that. Kay drags a stool towards the center of the tavern and begins to strum his lute. Attend, my friends, the tale of Rain of Riverbend, whose parents met a tragic and untimely end. A hush falls over the crowd as they all turn to face Cade. When she lost her brother, she set out to make it right, even as the Lord of Shadow sought to swallow all the light. There were costs and tears, terrible, it's true, but that is why she fights for me and you. The melody changed to a more up-tempo beat, and soon the whole tavern is clapping along. Attend, my friends, the tale of Riverbend, our hero upon who we all depend. She and her friends faced many dangers, terrible and true, but we faced the light of day again because they fought for me and you. I couldn't make it work because of the melody just doesn't work with the lyrics and everything else. It begins, my friends, with me trapped in the dark, while my sister set out to make her mark. Joined by a priestess, a Nesper, and a thief, she ventured to Parnassus in search of solution to her grief. There she was met with an ornery elf, a quest of his own, followed by a pirate princess whose rebellious nature shone. On the high seas they found the second shard of many, then to the shadowy undermount they went, where intrigue was aplenty. They reached the capital, their goal in sight, but then the traitor prince and corrupted priest swallowed all the aforementioned in light. They took the noble priestess, a terrible story but true, and so our heroes were forced to fight
for me and you. The next part you know, so I've no need to delay, for our dear Rain and friends did finally save the day. They captured the cruel prince, to a tower he was confined, while he did not so noble father waited, laughed, and dined. A brother returned and medals awarded. It is there our story could have ended, but the world had yet another tale, where dear Rain was taken beyond the veil. Our other heroes were left to wait a torturous year, while Rain was trapped in a realm of fear.
Basically, this is a retelling of everything we've done for the past 3 damn books. It's a summary, but okay. Getting a little livid at this. AI could have wrote better.
She woke and fled. To us she did return, leaving her captor, Princess Phylax, rage to burn. Return she did, and so began another dangerous story, not for revenge or rescue this time, but for safety and glory. They moved through forest, desert, light and shadow, pain and valiant hope, all their chances hanging by a quickly fraying rope. Abandoned by one, betrayed by another, royals in both realms found dreams to smother. So Rain, she built an army of men, dwarves, elves, orcs, fighting for each other rather than themselves. Attend, my friends, the tale of Rain of Riverbend, a hero of likes which we'll never see again. She slayed the Ashen Empress, stopped her army too, and now, my friends, we know that it is what she must do. She was forced to make a terrible choice, much to her dismay, but what else was there to do if one hoped peace would stay? So peace came, but it refused to stay, for a winged warrior attacked, turning the sky to gray. The monster took our heroes.
They could have added a whole new song for this. It seriously would have just... Alright, whatever.
But that was not the end. They journeyed across the world below, which Nephara did defend. Rain found new allies, lost family and friends, willing to fight the gods, and it seemed as though they'd win the day despite the odds. She fought her way out of hell, so strong was her will, and soon even Nephara's god, the allies, had their fill. An epic fight ensued, not really, you see, and that left the High Queen dead. And then all that was left was to decide what was ahead. Attend, my friends, the tale of Riverbend, who stayed with those departed, a land not yet to mend. But there's still a bit of our story left to tell, one in which wedding bells did kneel. With Nia Laura so bright and kind, a happy ending did Rain find. Attend, my friends, the tale of Rain of Riverbend, whom all of us here would gladly call a friend. Swear to you I've told the truth, I did not alter or amend. And so, you see, we finally reach the end.
That bonus scene was really not goddamn worth it. It was stupid as fuck. Blades of Light and Shadow was a journey like no other. Yeah, the first 2 books were. And we want to thank you so much for coming along with us. We truly poured our hearts into the series, what writers were left, and we hope you loved playing it as much as we loved making it. While the story may be coming to an end, our own is still being written. We'll leave you to decide where it takes you, as Bakshi might say. I hope your story's a good one. Yeah, no, listen, not for me. I'm sorry. Okay, so first and foremost, before I get to what I promised you, if you did enjoy the video, if you did enjoy my reading, if you do enjoy what I do, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Without viewers like you, I'm nobody. Okay? Alright, so let me get on to it now. First and foremost about Valley. As a person who literally and figuratively very much knows Valix's experience about being a child that is created and then mistreated by your mother, I very much know that experience all too well. I'll just keep that short, sweet, and to the point. Perhaps one day I will tell you the tale. It'll be a hell of a lot better than that ballad we just got to hear from the Bardcade. Anyway, secondly, so that's one of the reasons why I just was like, you know what?
Valley has done enough, and it's really up to Valix at the end of the day, but listen, I'm just changing as a person. You know, I've always been one of those people, up until very recently, who's always willing to give a second chance. I'm always willing to believe in a redemption story and the whole nine yards. And basically, as I've gone through a lot, especially as of lately, I just don't. I don't know. I just some parts of me are changing. Okay. Um. So that's why I chose that. As for why I didn't pick all the diamond choices, let's be honest, right? Their intimacy or whatnot things. And this is where my personal thing is gonna come in. Um Before I then actually get emotional and I actually like talk to you for a moment about myself, because we've reached the end of another book. It's been a long journey, especially if you've read all the books and listened to me through all of them. So here we go. I always try and pick the diamond choices for you guys. I always do it. And my videos are typically some of the longest because I sit here and I pick all the choices for you. And I don't tap. Every single video I give you guys 110% of myself, even when I don't feel like it. Okay? And the only videos that I don't give you 110% are the ones where I just are rare and far and few in between. And let's be honest, I think maybe are on one hand you can count through the 7 years that I've done choices where I just didn't personally verbally read it. Where I just uploaded the video and I'm like, here you go. Unless there was an audio issue. Which that happens rare and far and few and in between. It's every blue moon. Okay? With that being said, as I've noticed, the choices, clearly, has gone down with quality. The app has gone down. A lot of you have not been tuning in. A lot of you have told me personally that you're just tired of the app. You've moved on. You've uninstalled it. And that you rarely even watch when I do choices now. Which I can understand. Again, if you ever get tired of choices, I do a lot of other content. So please don't just up and abandon the community. Please don't do that. I put, like I said, a lot of my heart and soul, and this is my legacy. This is it for me. So I just didn't pick the diamond choices because, again, I mean, that's like 30 extra minutes that I would put in for only a handful of you to actually enjoy, and that's if some of you actually did want to enjoy it. But at the same time, it's a lot of money, I'm going to be honest with you. It's a lot of effort and everything else. And then just also, it's far more than the choices the actual writers, what few are still there, deserve. They really, at this point, if they got rid of VIP and it went back to the way it was, I would turn off VIP. I no longer want to financially support them at all, and I would deplete my diamonds, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm kind of where Bakshi is. That's one of the reasons why I very much am where Bakshi is. And that's one of the reasons why I chose to stay. Initially, I was going to go back, and like I said, oh, we'd be back in a blink of an eye, and yada, yada, yada. And then I got to really thinking about it. And this is why I chose. I have been through so much in my life that if I was to sit here and tell you, your jaw would drop, your heart would break, and you would probably cry. I promise you. You just, if my story, if I ever told you my story, it would break you. Okay? Right now, I get up every day. And I'm like, okay, I woke up today. And I'm just being honest and real with you guys right now. Okay, so please hear me out. I get up every day and I'm like, okay, well, I'm awake. I'll just do the usual methods and go through the usual motions every day. Because I'm tired. Like I said, I've been through a lot. I take care of my two brothers who are pretty much need a lot of care because they're special needs. And I take care of them every single day. I pour what little bit of energy and everything else I have into this channel. And I don't feel like I'm making a difference at all. over the years, I've tried to raise awareness or talk to you guys or make a difference or grow this community and whatnot. And I've been doing this for 13 plus years. But for just the choices part, if you've been here just for the choices part, you've been here for pretty much since the app started, so over 7 years. And at this point, like, I've lost a lot of friends, lost a lot of family. I've lost a lot of people in my life. And it's down to a skeleton crew at this point, and I'm tired. I'm super tired. And again, I try and be super positive in every single thing I do and in the whole 9 yards, but I'm tired and I feel like Bakshi. And at this point, I'm pushing for all of you and my brothers. That's it. That's literally it. If you guys have ever heard of the term secondhand hem, yeah, no, that's where I'm at. It's really where I am. So that's one of the reasons why I just looked at the end of this, and it's why I made some of the choices that I made. If I was to die today and have the option to come back or not, I would go, I want peace. And so that's why I made that choice. So, yeah, hopefully you've listened to what I had to say. Otherwise, if you didn't, then you're not even here right now. If you did, hopefully you understand, right? Again, I've poured everything I am and everything I possibly, anything, every little bit of energy into this channel. And I've tried to give, and my only hope and dream for this channel was for it to grow and become a family and a community. And I don't see it. I don't see it. I really don't. I've tried. And I can't say I haven't. I really have. I've given my all. So yeah, anyway. Thank those of you who actually did stay, especially to listen to the end, and me just kind of rant and vent, right? Basically, I feel like it's burnout is first and foremost. One of the phrasings for it is burnout. It really is. It is. And so, the only thing, I'm going to be honest with you, the only thing that could rekindle it, it's kind of like a fire. And we're down to the last little embers of the fire. And the only thing at this point that could reignite my heart, my whatnot, is to know that I'm making a difference. That I know that I'm doing something worth a shit. Other than reading sometimes subpar or really bad stories. But I just wish I was making a difference. In this world, and I see so much. And I try and make a difference, and I try and talk about things, and I try and just everything, and I try and just help a lot of you, and I don't feel like I'm making a difference at all. I don't. I really don't. And so this is the first time we've ever had this talk on this channel. This is the first time in a video I've ever had this conversation. And I'm just being 110% honest with you right now. That's just how I feel. And so, especially kind of like emotionally / energy draining chapter like this, but also like it didn't leave me satisfied. It didn't, this book, this chapter, this ending, it did not leave me satisfied. All this time and effort and everything else for it to be just so, like the battle with Nepharo alone was so lackluster, it wasn't even funny. It just was horribly written. And so for them to sit there and say, if we've done this and we've done this and we don't, no, you haven't. Like, at this point, I wonder if they even care about their own writing anymore besides making money. And so it's one of the things that's just really crushing me, is just, doing this stuff. So if you guys have any suggestions, right, I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear anything, everything. I don't care. Just give me something to work with. Because at this point, I feel like Choices is just, it's already off the cliff. It already jumped. Like, I just want to know when I should pull my chute, or am I going to slam into the ground? That's how I feel. Yeah, no. Anyway, sorry about this ending. Normally, I'm always upbeat, right? I'm always upbeat. But just today and this ending and this chapter and this book and just everything, I'm just being honest. So, thanks again for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video. I look forward to your comments if you leave any. Peace.